Tony Han is the CEO of WeRide. He joins us now alongside our China reporter Elaine Yu, who's also joining the conversation. Tony, great of you to join us today. Welcome to CNBC. I guess I'm going to ask the question that's on everybody's lips, and that is, when do you think you're going to be profitable?
Oh, that's a very good question. First of all, I think the profitable thing is for sure because if you look at our Q3 numbers, and there are several numbers I can share with you. That is actually, we have one of the largest quarterly revenue increase. We increased 140% compared to the last year, and compared to the last quarter, we also increased 34% with a very good profit margin, 32.9 profit margin. And you can see our research expenditure is growing, but I think, in terms of a profit margin, in terms of revenue, and in terms of market, it's growing faster. So if you have two function curves, one curve is growing but with a very flat slope, the other growing like exponential, you are sure that these two curves will intersect in the future. But when will they intersect? We still need to wait for more time to check our hypothesis. But I think the for sure things like this company will be profitable, and look at our numbers. And a little bit number I want to share with you is like last quarter we have a revenue of 171 million RMB revenue, and we have acquired the first city-level driverless operation permit in Abu Dhabi. This is the first of its kind out of US. And everybody now in Abu Dhabi, if you have an Uber app, you can hail a driverless Robotaxi in Abu Dhabi, just like what you can do in San Francisco and Los Angeles. So this is kind of historical moment. It is just like, say, when do you think Waymo will be profitable? Like you asked 10 years ago, when will Tesla be profitable? I'm not very, very concerned about the exact time, but I'm pretty sure about the results. I'm very optimistic with WeRide's leading position in the global market and in the technology. The profitability is a sure thing.
Indeed. So not just the license approval in Abu Dhabi that you're speaking of, Tony, you've also recently got approvals in places like Switzerland on top of, Singapore and Saudi Arabia and Belgium and others. Now you're in 8 countries around the world, or at least you've got licenses to operate there. Where is the next frontier? What country is next in your sights?
Okay, so that's again a very good question. Thanks for this question. Before this interview, I tried to memorize these 8 countries. It's getting harder and harder to memorize these 8 countries, but the trick is like 4 in Asia, that's Saudi, UAE, Singapore, and China, and 3 in Europe, that is Belgium, France, and Switzerland, and then there's US. So, which country will be the nice? I'm not sure. We are trying to explore all possibilities. Japan is a possibility, and also some countries like Norway and Spain, there are also possibilities. Malaysia, we explore all the possibilities. It all depends on very strong local availability of a strong local collaborator, and also the regulatory supporting. So these are all the factors. It's kind of hard to say what numbers, but we are sure the promising markets are in Europe, in Asia market, and East Asia market, Mid East Asia market, and all some MENA countries. That are all potential countries that we will get our nice driverless permit.
And Tony, great to see you again. So you mentioned a range of different countries, those in Europe, in the Middle East, China, potentially Japan, and we're looking at a lot of very different environments, climates here. And I'm also seeing a very quick expansion across all these countries. So how do you ensure safety, and how do you scale this tech when you look at so many different markets and so many different climates?
Again, thanks a lot for this fantastic question. So about scalability, I think WeRide is the only company, autonomous driving company in this world taking both Tesla's approach and Waymo's approach. For Waymo's approach, we use L4 level Robotaxi, of course, with HD map and with traditional machine learning framework, of course, enhanced by recent large language model. that part we have already put into a real operation in Abu Dhabi, in Beijing, and in Guangzhou, and soon in Dubai and in Riyadh. You will actually hail a driverless operation, driverless robotaxi through either Uber or Grab or WeRide Go app. So that part we have already done things that are very similar to what Waymo has done. And for Tesla's approach, roll out we pilot 3.0, which is comparable to the FSD 14 of Tesla, and our ADAS system has already been installed in Chery's several mass production passenger car like Chery Exceed ET and Chery Exceed ES, and soon it will be installed in Guangzhou Automatic Group's Ion car. So there are wide adoption of our ADAS system. So leverage on these two different approach. The ADAS-based approach is navigation map-based, huge very big machine learning in taxi model-based. It has a very good generality. But for the reliability, I think the traditional robotaxi L4 level approach is unparalleled. We managed to find a marriage of these two methods and leverage on two heterogeneous data from different sources. So that case, I think we can maintain a generality at the same time, keep the redundancy and have a very good safe record based on our Waymo-like robotaxi operation. So far, we have been operated 2,200 days, and our safety record is very, very good.
And also, in terms of the vehicles that WeRide is involved in, there are robo-taxis, robo-sweepers, robo-buses. Why go into all these different vehicle types? What's the strategy behind that?
Yeah, the strategy is simply platform strategy. It's just like a Linux-based operating system can support PDA, can support pad, laptop, a supercomputer, and can support a smartphone. So I think WeRide is building some very generic autonomous driving operating system, which can support robotaxi, ADAS system, a robobus, and even robosweeper. Because if you think about this problem in principle, they are all vehicles running in an urban scenario. They have to all to detect the cyclist, jaywalker, recognize the signal light, and try to very conservatively avoid other people violate the traffic rule. All of these scenarios you have to solve no matter what kind of application. So we think about it deeply. Let's say, okay, let's create a kind of machine learning based platform that can solve all these scenarios and all over the world, not only just in one country. And then once we've done this, we do once and it works for all the application. This way we can reuse all the algorithm hardware design to the extreme extent. That is also one of our major competitive edge. In comparison with our competitors, I think we are unique in reused algorithm. We have very strong supply chain because all these products share the same hardware model. All the design are modularized. So this one gives us a very good advantage.
And looking at your latest quarterly numbers, the company is not profitable yet, but we see net loss narrowing and also revenues being driven by what the company has said are things like intelligent data services and autonomous driving related operations. Can you share a bit more color on what these intelligent data services or operations are that are driving revenue?
Okay, so there are many robotaxi services, of course, with some certain data annotation and also tool supply. We have our collaborators, and sometimes they need data annotation, they need tools, and we actually want to try to find all the opportunities to in a certain alliance. At the same time, if they like our relevant data service, tool service. We are very open to share with them, of course, with certain commercial, with certain profit margin. And but the main thing is the robotaxi. I just want to emphasize our product revenue and the robotaxi service-related revenue grows 428% and 66% year to year. in the 3 quarters of 2025. Robotaxi revenue grows 7 times year to year. So all of these numbers just show like both products revenue and the service revenue are very strong. I basically let the product revenue and the service revenue run freely. So as long as we maintain our competitive edge, as long as we continue to extend our global market, I don't want to give a constraint about the ratio. Whichever category can sell more with certain profit margin, I would just say go freely.
Tony, you talk about the competitive edge, which of course is a nod to the fact that this is increasingly becoming a highly competitive sector. Do you see any M&A activity on the cards for your company in the next few years?
I think we are leaving this issue to be open. There are always a very outstanding startups, and if they have their unique technology and we have enough cash reserved in our bank, and I won't shut down close. And if there's a good startup, we can acquire them. Also, if we want to acquire a startup for the purpose of talents acquisition, I have never refrained from doing that, because talents are not grow on the trees. Sometimes you can meet them once in your life. You better get the chance to acquire them. And in terms of forming the partnership, we are very strong. We formed a partnership with Uber, with Grab, with Bosch, and Guangzhou Automatic Group, and Chery, and many strong partners. And in the future, if we want to form certain form of JV or form JV for the global market, we are very open to do so.
So who do you see then as your biggest competitor right now, Tony? And in the same way that here in Australia, in the rideshare market, fierce competitors Uber and Didi, from a consumer standpoint, I toggle between the two of them depending on who's offering me the best price at the time. So what do you think that you would offer a consumer that would make them choose you over a competitor?
Okay, I think, as I mentioned in other occasions, I think our major competitor is really about who can give the better service to our customers with a reasonable cost. WeRide will never compete for lower price. We want to compete for higher quality with acceptable price range. I just visited Sydney like 2 months ago for a forum, and I saw like a huge potential in Australian market, and so to us is like we mainly consider considering 3 factors. Number one, how can we keep our advance and keep our leading position in technology? Number two, how can we keep on improving the quality of service to satisfy our customers? Number three, how can we build up strong alliance partnership with local government, with local partners? There are three major factors we are considering. If we can handle all of these 3 category issues very well, we can keep our current leading position for sure. So in terms of competition, it has always been very intensive since the year of 2017 when we found this company. At that time, there are so many long list of startups, but most of them have already died off. WeRide remaining at the leading position, so we are confident to keep this position.
Well, you're obviously exploring the Australian market, Tony. When are you coming here?
Yeah.
As in, like, when are you likely to operate here?
When will actually I received several invitations. Like we are actually, frankly speaking, I'm studying the policy of Australia very carefully, and I have several meetings scheduled with local government, and we want in Sydney area and in Melbourne area we actually studied, and I think Uber has been adopted quite widely here, and Uber is a very good partner with us, and so we will explore that for sure. And also because Australia is a ride-steering country, and our we have already designed our robotaxi for the right-stream country. Example for Japan, and for some region in Hong Kong, in Singapore. For Singapore, we already have this kind of robotaxi ready. So once the policy is available, so we found strong local partners, I think our technology and our products are ready to be extended to Australia market.
We look forward to hearing more. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure,
My great
Tony Han
pleasure.
of WeRide.